Hi everybody. Oh my goodness. I so much has happened in the last 72 hours. Like I can't even explain the amount of blessings I have received, and it coupled with obedience, and so I'm gonna try and go in chronological order, but if I go here and there and then, just try to follow along as best you can, okay? Because I am going to be going back and forth, and because one thing will go lead into the other, and then I'll have to back up and explain how that happened. Anyway, so I had last week, what was it? Um, Monday and Tuesday off. No, I had asked for Saturday and Sunday off last month. No, in January, I had asked for March 8th and 9th off, 9th and 10th off, because God had led me to purchase a salsa festival ticket. It's not the kind you dance, it's the kind you eat, and it's my favorite festival. I've been going there for 5 years. The only year that I didn't go to the festival was the year that God sent me to California. Okay. So that's that background, okay? So this is something that I have been participating in for a very, very long time. There's mariachi music and there's dancing, and I didn't stay for the whole time because the party was going to go late into the night. I asked Father if I could come home before it got dark, mostly because I didn't turn on the light in the room. Okay, yes, I'm still in the same place I've been. Hasn't changed. I don't go sneak off into whatever because I'm whatever. Anyway, I don't know why God had me say that. Somebody, you're judging. Be careful. This is not the time. This is not the season. Anyway, so, okay, I already knew I was going to have a long week because this started the week before this week, okay? So bear with me. So the week before, I had been off on Monday and Tuesday. And then I started working on Wednesday. And I worked Wednesday through Friday of this week, okay? So that was 9 days. And I was dog tired because I worked the busiest hours, or the busiest weeks, or the busiest days were my closing nights. So Wednesday, I came in at 10 o'clock in the morning. So it was like almost like I had another day off because the next day I didn't have to come back until 3 o'clock. All of this is blessings, all of it, because the schedule has been working in such a way that I have been up during the day more than I've been up at night. And so, because God is changing my routine, He's changing the hours of times that I'm awake. And so He didn't want to do it hardcore. You're done this week doing night closing and now I'm switching you over to days. And I'm like, I'm so tired. God always has a plan. And I've been obedient. I haven't been complaining about my schedule. I haven't been asking to change my schedule. I haven't been giving up my hours. The other girls have been doing everything in their power to get out of the schedule they're given. And because they're getting out of the schedule that they're given, they're not getting enough hours. So this week, now that they've gone through an entire paycheck of little bit of hours, they're like, I can't live on this. I can't live on this. I have responsibilities. I have payments I have to make because mom and dad aren't covering everything. Some of these girls still live at home. And I'm not judging them. I'm not judging them. I'm just telling you the truth of their lives because they tell me these things. So they have bills to pay. And I can see as an adult, as a responsible person that has been going through life, and I understand that you can't buy a car and not make a payment. You can't get insurance and not make a payment. You can't get a house and not make a payment. You can't rent an apartment and not make a payment because these companies aren't going to wait for you to make a payment. They're going to kick you out. And so these girls have been giving up their schedules, been giving up their hours because they're tired or because they don't feel like working through busier times, they want to be comfortable, but still make the hours that they're required to be able to pay the things that they need to pay in their lives. And so they started giving up their hours. The manager was sending them home earlier because he was running the store according to the business. There's not enough business, I don't need you today. There's not enough business, you got to go home today. He's done it to me. I haven't said that he hasn't. He's been giving me special treatment. No. But because I work the days that I know he can't send me home early because I've got to close, those are the days I get my hours. These hours are just the get me to where I want to be. I want to be between 35 and 40 hours. I don't want 45 hours because at 45 hours, God had led me to take accounting classes, so I understand tax codes. When you hit 41 hours, when you hit 45 hours, you jump into a different bracket. You are no longer looked at as regular earnings. You now jump into a bracket that is higher taxed. Not only are you paying your taxes that you're for your bracket that you're normally in, but now you're being charged additional percentage of taxes on the money that you make regularly, plus that little tiny bit of hours that you just got. So if before you were under the bracket, and say for example, $800, you were just under the bracket, you were making $759. So the taxes they were taking out, $150. So you're like, woohoo, I'm making money. Now, let's say you get 41 hours, and now your pay jumps to $950. Well, guess what? They're going to take $300 out of your paycheck. You're like, but they can't do that. Oh, yes, they can, because now you've jumped into a bracket that's higher. And that bracket has its own percentage that you have to pay. But they're not taking it out of the additional, meaning the +1, +3, +5 hours you've made over 40. They're taking it over the entire 45, 43, 42 hours. They're making that adjustment on the higher rate on all of the pay. And they're taking it as, what did Bill Clinton call the money that we don't count on because it's money that we get for bonuses? You weren't counting on that money, so you don't need it, so we can charge you more for it. Yeah. Bill Clinton passed a law, or a tax law, that now any bonus we receive outside of our paycheck, the government can come in and charge 39% of that income. So annual bonuses, instead of getting, they used to be charged before Bill Clinton's law, they used to be treated as regular income. So if you normally, on $1,000, only paid $200 in taxes, guess what? If you made an additional bonus and that bonus was $2,500, you're only going to be charged the regular amount that you're being charged. But now it's 49%, because it's almost 50% of what you make. So, free tax information. You're welcome. Anyway, so these girls are like, oh, I want the 45, I want the 50, but they don't want to work for it. They want the easy breezy shifts. They want to come in and they want to be able to talk, and they want to not have to make boxes. They want to be able to, oh, hi, how's it going, to the customers that they like, the ones they don't like, they don't want to deal with. This is what really happens. This is what they do. If they don't like you, they don't want to deal with you, they don't want to talk to you, they're like, can you help that person? Because I'm talking to my friend here, and he's been here like forever, and I just need to talk to him about, this is the attitude, this is the behavior that they present in the store. So when I came in, everything changed. And because they were so focused on me, they didn't see the managers changing the rules around them. So now they have to do their job. They have to work through the rushes. They have to work through the business. Otherwise, they're not going to get the hours that they're looking for. And they're tired. They're not wanting to do the work because they're not used to it. And so I come in, and I have been doing this work since I started because they leave me alone. They wouldn't give me any help. So I'm not looking, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. My feet hurt, my back hurts. Instead, I'm like, hi, how are you doing? How can I help you? Well, yeah, sure, no problem. And they just look at me like, you're almost 50, yet you walk circles around it. Because God raised me right. God raised me right. Yes, He did. Yes, He did. Anyway, so all of my obedience since that time. And I'm smiling and I'm happy because my obedience blessed me. But not because of my obedience, but because of God. God saw my obedience. He saw how faithful I was in believing in the things that He was giving me. And that is what's making me happy. The fact that He saw that I was being obedient, and that made Him want to bless me. That is what's making me happy. That He saw me and He said, yes, you deserve to be blessed. You deserve to receive from me. He found me worthy. Anyway. So, here we are, Wednesday, and I've only got a couple $100 left in my account. And God is telling me that He wants me to Uber to this festival. And I'm like, I was taking the bus. I was like, okay, if I wear my work shoes, I can take the bus up until here, because the bus stops at a certain point. It doesn't go all the way to where I needed it to go. It doesn't run. There's no transportation. So I was like, okay, if I take this bus down this street, I can get to almost where it's at, and then I just have to walk maybe 3 miles. Yeah, 3 miles. I ran that area for fun back when I was doing 5Ks. And yeah, so I know I can do it because I've run it. I know how to get to where I'm going because God took me down that path before. He always takes us through these paths before we have to actually do them. But He put it in my heart that I needed to Uber. And I was like, Father. So He said, look up how much it's going to cost. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to cost $36 to get there. I said, I don't even know what it's going to cost to get back, because they always do a surcharge whenever there's a festival or some type of going on. And so I was like, it's going to be like $80 to get home. And He goes, do you trust me? And I said, I trust you. And then He said, go get your pedicure. That's going to be another $40. I'm like, Father, I don't have that much money. So He had me count out what I did have. In ones, I had $50. That's all I had. And I had, because He was having me go eat. Go to your favorite place to eat. Go have your sandwich. Go have a beer. Go have this. And I'm like, I don't, but you want me to go to the festival and the money? And He goes, just trust me. I'm like, okay. So then He leads me to Facebook and to start counting down the days till I go to the festival. And I'm like, T-minus 5 days, T-minus 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. And I was obedient. I did everything. And so on Thursday, when I came in, I was closing, because, so the Tuesday Monday I worked at 9 o'clock in the morning, because Sunday I had worked at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I opened 2 days in a row, and then I closed on Tuesday, and then I had to come back in the next day at 10 o'clock in the morning, which was Wednesday. And then Thursday was going to be the beginning of my closing shifts. This was the end. So Thursday, Friday were my last 2 days and I didn't make any tips, mainly because I had to share with the other girls, and it was like $3 or $4, and God's like, just wait. On Thursday, I didn't have a pre-closer. I was supposed to close by myself. But Carla, that was her last day before she went on vacation. She was asked by the leadership to help pre-close. And she's like, I can't. I don't want to. No. Because she had started at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, she's the one that's in management. And they're like, we're not asking you. This is part of your management role. You have to help because you're a manager. You don't have a choice anymore. So when she came up to me and she goes, she presented it as her choice. She's like, oh, hey, I know you don't have a pre-closer tonight, so I'm gonna stay and pre-close for you. And I'm like, but you've been here since 9 o'clock in the morning. I said, you don't have to. I said, I've done it before. I said, it's not hard. I just have to start earlier and I have to clean. I have a certain way of doing things that. And she goes, no, seriously, I'm going to stay and help. And then because I kept telling her, it's okay. So the business started slowing down a little bit. And we were getting tips, like big tips, like $10 and $5. And then, so between the two of us, we ended up splitting $10, $12 each. So this is where that day is when it started. The amount of money that Father was putting in my pocket, I was like, whoa. Because I already had $50 in ones, remember? And he led me to put that in there. And then I took it, let me back. So she's helping me. And as we're getting closer and closer to 9 o'clock, because I told her, I said, I only need you till 9 o'clock. No, it was 8 o'clock when the other manager was about, or 7:30 when the other manager was about to leave. Because the manager stays, wait, no, it's Thursday. So no, he didn't leave. He didn't leave till 7:30. So normally the manager leaves as soon as the other manager comes in, because two managers don't need to be covering for each other. It's part of the deal. But when they have a shift manager, then they have to stay later to help cover. Because the shift manager isn't as proficient at being a manager as the others are. Anyway, so we ended up getting busy earlier than expected. I was not expecting to be busy. And so not at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought I'd have an hour before our business kicked in so that I can get boxes made and all that. And we got busy early. And so he ended up staying till 7:30. And at 7:30, when he's getting ready to go, Carla had already mentioned to me that she would stay and pre-close for me. I'm like, no, it's okay. And as we were walking towards the leadership team, she says, so Dana says that she can cover. She doesn't need me to pre-close. I think I should be able to go home then. And they both looked at her like, and she goes, no, I was just kidding. I'll stay and pre-close. And I was like, oh, they told you were pre-closing and you were about to just skedaddle. And because, oh, okay. I didn't say a word. So I went and I do what I always do when I'm by myself. I started wiping down every single table, bringing in dishes, shutting certain areas down. And then finally when the people left, I finished the chairs. I put away the kids' chairs. I cleaned the games. And she goes, okay, well, if you can stay up front, I can go clean that area. And I said, it's all clean. The only thing that's left is vacuuming. And she goes, really? I'm like, yeah. Because she had volunteered to clean that area if I would clean the bathrooms. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Bathrooms don't bother me. It takes me 15 minutes to clean the bathrooms. And then she just looked at me like, 15 minutes? When you have had a business cleaning offices, you become efficient at cleaning things. That's why I can vacuum faster than the other girls. That's why I can clean bathrooms faster than the other girls. Because my mom, or the woman who raised me, had a cleaning service business. And I was her employee / supervisor / negotiator. So I negotiated the prices for the buildings that we were cleaning. And I would either accept or decline any business that was offered to us to clean. So I learned to manage that type of a business. All of this is in preparation. God has been training me to run businesses, to run large dollar value businesses. When I was a manager for Peter Piper Pizza, I was managing stores that made 50, 60,000 on a Friday night, 60, 70,000 on a Saturday night, 20, 30,000 on a Sunday night. A regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or a regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was between 15 and 20,000. Thursday was the beginning of our business. That's when we were making, 25, 30, 40,000 sometimes on a busy Thursday. I ran businesses that made money. And I'm teaching these men, these managers, to run businesses that make money. Now, I'm not telling them how to be managers. They know how to be managers. What I'm teaching them is how to recognize an employee that is not a good employee and how to manage that behavior and make it so that either you conform to the way that we want you to do the work or you can leave. The girl that left didn't want to conform to the way they were doing the work. She didn't want to change her ways, so she left because she didn't like the way she was being treated in the current state. And it wasn't the managers that were treating her poorly, it was the other work employees, because she was the youngest and she was the newest of the three. And so they were leaning on her so that she did the job. She did the work when they were around. And she didn't like it. She decided she didn't want to be that part of their group anymore. So God led her to a different place to work. And so now there's a new gentleman, an older gentleman, older than me, who they just hired. And so he has experience in running businesses and being a health inspector and all kinds of other stuff. So he's trying to teach them how to manage. And they're not liking it. Because he's being forceful. He's telling them, you shouldn't do it like that. You should do it like this. You can't do it like that. You have to do it like this. And I've never told them, you can't do it like that. You can't do it. I'm like, your way works. I said, but it's the customer service that's going to get you the business. And they didn't believe me. And I've been doing it for 6 months. And I bring it back to him. And I say to Cody, because he's the manager I've been telling. I said, do you remember when we first started? And I told you that it would take 6 months to change the customer service, to change the way that people see us. And that's when the business was going to start coming in. And he looked at me and he goes, it's been 6 months? I'm like, yeah. And we're starting to get busy. I said, just wait. The next 6 months is going to be a rocker. And I said, because we're going to get the crazies. We're going to get the people that are going to try and get something for nothing. They're going to come at us with anger, and because that's what Lucifer does. He sends anger, and he sends a fear, and he sends everything, every obstacle that he could throw at you to get you to back off, to get you to return to whatever. And I kept telling the manager, I said, you have to be nice. When they're throwing things at you, when they're yelling at you, you have to be nice. And he's like, and God even had me do it, to take it a step further. He brought the movie with Patrick Swayze where he's a bouncer. And then if any of you have ever seen that movie, you'll understand. And he's telling his bouncers what he wants them to do. And he goes, well, what if some guy cusses me out? Be nice. What if this or that? Be nice. What if someone punches me? Be nice, but be firm. Be nice, but be strong. Be nice, but be forceful. Be nice until it's... And then one of the guys says, well, when can't we be nice? When I tell you to. And so I sent him that. And I told him, I said, when these people get crazy, you have to be nice. You have to come in prepared in your mind that you're going to be dealing with crazy. And now guess what? No one can change his mind. He's always nice. And I said, you know, another thing that can change? I said, because when I was a manager, this is what they taught me. I said, when you remove that counter and you come around and you talk to them like a person, it changes the attitude. It changes the response. Why? Because now you're treating them as a person. Now they're seeing you as a person. And you're not just you against them against you. And he's like, okay. Out of all the managers, he's the only one that does go out and talk to people. He asks them, how was your dinner tonight? How was the environment? And everybody says, it was amazing. It was awesome. Okay, so then I came in on Friday. No, so still Thursday. And so we split the tips. She gets 12, I get 12. And then at the end of the night, and this man had already tipped us at the register. That's part of what she got. And he also tipped us on the credit card. That's also part of what she's going to get when we get paid. And then this man stayed, and he came back up for another pitcher of beer for him and the group that his wife and the other people that he was with. And they're asking me, so it was him and the gentleman, and they're asking me like things to do in the area. Okay, when I say, I know we say it for such a time as this, but God puts us in positions, and when we have the opportunity to share our knowledge, to share what we know, I have hiked and I have done so many things in this area because God, go here, go there. So I know so much. There's so much knowledge in here. So this gentleman, they're telling me, they're like, we're going to be here for 4 days. I'm like, okay, what do you guys want to do? And he goes, we want to get these kids started. I'm like, oh, then you need to go to the Papago Mountains because they're beautiful and you can hike. They go to 20 feet in the air and you can climb all over the place. And I said across the street, next to the Phoenix Zoo, there is a hole in the wall, is what that's called, but you can oversee the area and it's really cool and you can take pictures. And he's like, that sounds like we want to go there. Okay, we're going to do that. And then I told them about other trails that they can do, and then South Mountain. And I just gave them all these ideas. And then at the end of the night, the man was going to put a $20 bill. Oh, at that point, he gave me $5, which by this point, I'm by myself. So I put the $5 in the tip jar. Because God always says, put the money, when you're by yourself, put the money in the tip jar. When I'm not by myself, he says, put the money in your pocket. And I took it to God because I don't do this unless he leads me, because it would be a different result. Anyway, so this gentleman, so he's getting ready to leave. So he's already given me $5 plus all the other money he's already tipped us. And he's about to leave. And he gives me a $20 bill. So altogether, he's given me $30. That's what I went home with, $30. And I was like in shock. I was in awe. And so I cleaned the store, got out of there, got home. I got out at 10:30 because that's how late they stayed. And the next day I was supposed to come in at 3. So I did. I came in at 3. And I come in early. But I never stand at the front talking to the girls. I always go sit. I go watch YouTube. I go write down some things that happen in I have a Word document on my phone that I keep track of all the things that God is showing me throughout the day so that I can remember them when I'm writing my book, because the time is going to change and I'm going to have time to write in my book again. I'm going to have time to go to wherever that God leads me, to go and spend some time alone and just type and read, and there's some things I've got to do today before the end of the day, for tomorrow, that he's leading me that I need to get done. But he wanted me to come on here and do a video and give you guys like the 411. Okay, so Friday, turned out it was just going to be me and another young man. His name's Jake, and he's pretty new, and he's very, very rough. He has no customer service skills whatsoever. This is him. What do you want? Okay, large pepperoni. Do you want wings? Okay. Total's $15.33. And he doesn't count money very well. It's. I'm trying to teach him, but he's not getting it. I mean, over time he will, but he's just not. He's not, he's not being nice, and that's sad. But anyway, so it was just gonna be me and him. Cassie had come in, so Kathy had come in at 9 in the morning. No, Friday. So this, no, that was the Thursday before, sorry. The closing day with Carla was the Thursday before. Friday came, and I got tips. Saturday, I got tips. So by the end of Sunday, I had $50 in tips. And there were some things that God wanted me to do. And so I had to go get those. And it was a bag of dog food that, had I not bought the dog food that God was telling me to buy, which was when I spent $18, and oh my gosh, if I hadn't have done that, I would not have had enough food to make it through today. And today I went and I bought more dog food. But anyway, so, sorry. Oh, I forgot to put it on my, oh well. I'm going to make a part 2 because I'm going to change how I have my phone held. Stay tuned for part 2. I pray this has given you some encouragement in your obedience with God. There's more obedience coming. I have more testimony coming, and it'll be a part 2. So stay encouraged. Have faith. Our Lord Jesus is moving mountains today, and it started already. And if you're in position, you're going to see the hand of Jesus move in such a way that it's going to blow your mind. You're going to be in awe. You're going to be like, what? Trust me, I have more to come, okay? See you in part 2.